And here we have an above ground entombment. Here lies Archibald Hayes, passed away in 1861. There is no other information on this burial, but these type of burials were usually used for in the colder months or in the winter. If somebody passed away, they would put their bodies in a makeshift grave like this in order to preserve their bodies, so that way when springtime came around, they were able to bury the person in the right plot or in the right family plot. Right behind Archibald Hayes, we have Woodruff. There is no life date or death on Woodruff here, but right next to him, we have Edward C. Morgan, born 1853 until 1889, with his wife, also buried here with him from 1847 until 1923. And we are in the W section. The first headstone we come up to in the Hutchinson family is Charles Hutchinson, born 1823, passed away 1900. Mary S., as in Sam or Samantha, Hutchinson was his wife from 1839 until 1917. And right over here, we have this beautiful headstone monument. It has a passenger pigeon on it, maybe? Or just a typical city pigeon. So here is Harriet E., wife of Charles Hutchinson, died November 3rd, 1855. Her life was 28 years, and there's an infant son buried here as well. Whether he's buried here under Harriet or above Harriet, more or less, is yet to be known. And as I'm walking around here, I see a lot of orange tags. I see this sign right here. It says hazard, monuments under repair. Now, if you look at some of these, I mean, they are in really, really rough shape. Right here we have Mary E. Case from 1845 until 1926. A lot of the people that are buried in this cemetery are from the Revolutionary War, and let's go check it out. Right here we have Andrew J., the only son of John and Eliza Strong, died at Washington, D.C., January 3rd, 1863, aged 23 years and 10 days. And on this one right here, we have a James Albert Partridge. Williams and Laura Partridge. He was a son to them, born in Onondaga, New York, April 17, 1814. Married Mary Elizabeth Partridge in Pillsford, Mass. February 8, 1854. Died in Washington, D.C., July 16th. 1868, aged 51 years and 3 months. So coming back up to here, if you see this right here, this is an acronym for February. And back in these times here, it went FEB-Y. And today's language, we just substituted FEB. And if you noticed on the other cemetery when I was reading it, it said February, but it didn't say with the apostrophe Y. And right next to James Albert is William Partridge, died in Onondaga. Not really too readable. Maybe some D2, spray it on there and clean it. But right here is some destroyed headstones that they are currently fixing. So we're going to go over here and get a good view of what's going on. Very macabre looking headstones. Before we get up to this placard, I would like to point this out. Hazard. Monuments under repair. Stay out of this. Here's one that I see a lot of in the cemeteries that I do here in Syracuse. The last name Cossett. I may not read the headstones all the time, but the name does come across. Sometimes it's spelled with only one T and one S, but the name Cossett is a very synonymous name here in Syracuse, amongst many other names that would go here. So today we have Davis Cossett, born October 25th, 5 days before Halloween, in the year 1823, died January 3rd, 1908. And right here we have a replaced headstone for Mary and Fred Abbey. Fred was born 1864, passed away in 1930, and Mary was born 1870, and she passed away in 1932. Here we have John Armstrong, born September 17th, 1823, died May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, before it was celebrated, 1903, and Mary Cossett, his wife, born April 18th, 1831, and passed away March 7th, 1877. And underneath that is the family's moniker and last name, Strong. And here we have this gorgeous statue, well, monument, headstone. And if you see on some of these headstones that some of them have the red tape, like this one right here, I mean, that is on a pallet. So somewhere in this general area, this right here may be to that base. And right next to the dismantled headstone, we have Levi Huntington and family. And right next to Levi Huntington, we have the Talcott Smilesleys in the family plot here. Over here, that one right there, that's Charles Talcott, only son of Charles W. and Jane Mosley. Not a lot of readable information on this headstone. We're going to get just a little bit closer. Charles and Jane Mosley, born May 11th, 1850, and died somewhere in 1869. And right next to him, we have another fallen headstone, which has the orange tag on it for repair. Here we are at a headstone that looks like it's cracking and could be in need of some repair. Right here is Isaac Pullman, died February 19th, 1847. He was 57 years old, 8 months, and 24 days. Right here we have what looks to be a three-piece headstone. So we have the very top, the center, and then right here you have the base. I don't know exactly who's who right here, but this marker says PL. And yes, I am wearing slippers in the cemetery. This monument belongs to James Smith, July 27th, 1828. Passed away 53 years, 6 months. He was married to Phoebe, wife of James Smith, died October 1st, 1851. And he was 66 years old and 10 months, 7 days. Right here we have Barney Lincoln, born April 13th, 1788, passed away February 28th, 1850. And right here we have a military veteran from the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary soldier Stephen Ward, from 1875 until 1781. Placed by the General Asa Danforth Chapter G.A.R. And for the headstone itself, there's just no telling what that is or what it used to be. And right here, from the 15 members of the Revolutionary War, we have the second Revolutionary War soldier, Daniel Peck, born 1776, passed away 1783. And this also was placed by the Danforth chapter. And right here, I think we're coming up on a mail order headstone. This is gorgeous. This mail order headstone belongs to Jeremiah Huntington, died September 22nd, 1856, age 76 years and 22 days. Linda Waite, wife of Jeremiah Huntington, died November 22nd, 1842, and she was aged 68 years old. And right on this side, we see the Unity handshake. Look at this. And right underneath, gone but not forgotten, in a unified handshake, we have Rebecca Fisher, died November 12th, 1857, and she was aged 70 years and 2 months. Next to her would be maybe a friend or a sister-in-law, Sophia Waite, died October 1st, 1878, aged 88 years and 9 months. So Sophia may have actually been a sister, you know. And right next to Rebecca and Sophia, we have Edward. And in front of them, we have family markers, which states several different names. Here we have Hezekiah, Samuel, mother, father, Rebecca, which is Rebecca Fisher and Sophia Waite. Those are the last two family markers that we have here. And right behind the Waite and Fisher Huntington family, we have Henry Z. Strong. Henry Z as in zebra, born 1840 until 1917. His wife, Mary E. Hayden, from 1846 until 1921 maybe. And then there's another name, Manelli maybe. And there's a date there for 1868. Alright, so we're here at the end of the video. Like I said, this isn't really that big of a cemetery. But just before we go, I wanted to show you something I literally just noticed out the corner of my left eye. Here we have the Wadsworth family. And if anybody knows about Wadsworth Ave in Syracuse on the north side, there may be a connection here. But as I said, I did no research for the cemetery. But here lies Horace, Harriet, William, Edmund, Luzina, Harriet, and John. Also, in a different section, we have another W section, which extends all the way up there. For this not being that big of a cemetery, I'm really surprised each section is as big as it is. But that's the W, pardon me. That is the W section, going all the way up there to the back of the woods, where I was just at. I do notice one thing as I'm getting ready to leave this cemetery. I do notice that there's a family orientation in the family plots. There's a lot of family plots here. And with that being said, this is the end of the video. Thank you for joining me. Check my channel out. Subscribe.